Hi, welcome back to my channel. I don't know why, I assume that people wouldn't be interested in a flip through of the Terra Volatile, and I kind of dismissed it, and it's just another one that's on my shelf, and you'll probably see it turn up in one of my reviews. But as the book has arrived, and I got the extra cards and the expansion pack as well, I thought maybe I should just show you, because it's a really nice deck, and the danger of this deck is because you can make it, so this is what all these cards are here, so it's expansion pack, so you can make it into the deck that you create. So although many of us will have a lot of the same cards in the deck, what you choose to make your deck will make your deck unique to you, quite possibly. And there are lots of variations for some of the cards, and that's what makes this a really nice kind of deck to work with. Plus the images are just amazing, and this book makes the images it makes sense of the images. So if we start with the deck, and then I'll do the book at the end for people who want to see the book, and it's available from the Terra Volatile website. Don't think I've got which is I think it's something like Credo, quia, absurdium, and you can go to terravolatile.com. And I'm in the UK, so there's a limit to how many things you can order at a time for the UK. I think that might be down to 1, postage, and 2, probably taxes. And I think this comes from Spain. I think they're Spanish. But it's just a beautifully put together, created deck. This is version 2 of the deck. Version 1 came in a 2-part box. Version 2 comes in the magnetic box, which is really nice, and yeah, you can keep it in that. Right, so if we just go through the cards to start with, otherwise I'm so cold and numb here at the moment that I will waffle and it won't make any sense. I can't remember what order they come in, so I've split the suits out, so that's what that stack there is, and we'll start with the majors. And we'll see the other cards that comes in the deck. So if I open up the expansion pack that they created, I think this is still in order. I didn't check. All right, one second and put you on pause. Okay, I hope this will make sense. So here's the deck that I have created. This is the extra cards that comes with the deck, 2nd edition. And this is the expansion pack that I've purchased, again with cards to swap in and swap out. So if at any point I choose to not use this full, I have 2 other fulls that I could potentially use. So we just so I've gone with the kind of traditional looking full here, kind of masculine energy. We've got like the cliff, looks like he's stepping off it. We've got our little doggy, but you can just see like the beauty in the illustrations here. And the kind of layers with the alchemical symbols, but this is gorgeous. So we have a female version, slightly different. She has a dog, but she has like a wrap as well. So there are things about the 2 that interlink with each other, although she's not actually stepping off her cliff. And then we have this chaos card. So I don't know how well this is picking up because it is daylight here, but it is a very dark card. So it's called chaos instead of the fool. And you just got your, I don't know what I call that, is it a tetrahedron? And oh yeah, I didn't say, did I? The cardstock is linen, kind of linen finish, really nice. And the backs are the same as version 1, except for my understanding is that the borders here on the sides, so this inner shape is a bit smaller, so I've got more of a border on the left and right. I think on version 1 they come almost to the edges. So that's one way of telling whether you've got a version 1 or a version 2 deck. So, oops. Brilliant, we're off to a really good start. I did say I was cold. Not that that's an excuse, but okay. So for the magician, here's the magician I have chosen. Again, just bring it up a bit. See, take think it's not going to focus very well. There we go. It's got that kind of Thoth feel about this magician, I think, with all the lines coming in around the background. So that's my magician. Or we could have had the alchemist is the other one, which was very tempting, to be honest. I can't remember, this is a famous painting, so it's a famous depiction. It'll be in the book, it will tell me, but off the top of my head, I cannot remember, so I'm not going to pretend to. Then we have the High Priestess. So in the deck, we had 2 to choose from. So I chose the High Priestess with the pillars and the moon behind her, and the word intuition as my keyword on the bottom, rather than just the High Priestess. So I went with a keyword instead. We have our 2 empresses. So again, I chose a keyword over the Empress. So I went with fertility over her. And again, it is a dark image, but I'm hoping that you can see it nicely. Again, you know, the artwork is just gorgeous. So I have the Emperor, and then over here we have authority. So we had 2 versions of the Emperor. This one being the expansion pack. So I decided to go with the Emperor. This one felt a bit more Hierophant to me, so that's why I've gone with this one. Here we have our Hierophant. So we have Pope versus Dogma. So I've gone with the Pope because it just feels more to me in keeping. So I recognise this image more than I pick up on that keyword, really. Those 2. With our Lovers, we have Lovers and Crossroads. I was intrigued with this one. I have to be honest, I was very intrigued to put this one in, but Crossroads doesn't really always what I get from the Lovers card. Equally, the Lovers card doesn't mean lovers to me. It means relationships, choices. So the Crossroads, there is that kind of choices, but there's no partnership in this Crossroads. So I feel like, yeah, that word being one of the key words for this is partnerships, contracts and those sorts of things. I feel like you need more than one person for that. So this one made it into my deck. I have the Chariot and oops, so we had 2, we had 2 to choose from. So I've gone with the Chariot, which is a gorgeous card. I love the lovely white horses here, versus Determination. I think that's a great one. I think that's a great one for, you know, you have to be mentally clear about where you're going, the determination to carry something out. But it was this image overall that won out. So this one was images. I chose to have Justice. Did I choose to have, or is this how it comes? No, this is how it comes. So Justice is card 8, which I actually quite like. I don't mind that. But I went with a more traditional keyword here. So I've gone with Justice versus Truth. This is a beautiful card again, and it might be one that I swap in later, but it was just this one for some reason for me, because I think it's more because she's got the blindfold on, whereas this one doesn't have the blindfold, although they're weighing and judging, but with a blindfold, so unable to see what it is that's being weighed to judge. For my Hermit, so we have 3. So in the expansion pack, the Hermit is called Time. I think that's a really nice card. And some of these it's hard to make the choice with, so I left him out. This one was in the deck, so we had a standard kind of hermit, a really dark one. He's got his lantern, he's got his staff, he's kind of making his way on his own. And I went with the soul searching. That made more sense to me as a hermit, because that's what it is about, isn't it? It's going inward. We had the Wheel of Fortune versus, oh no, what's this one? Yeah, Wheel of Fortune versus Fortuna. So hard choice, very hard choice, but I've gone with the Wheel of Fortune because I think it's just fantastically depicted. I love the little blue-faced angel or cherub on the top there. the person kind of, try and stop themselves from falling whilst this person's on their way up. So yeah, I like that. I mean, Fortuna's lovely, and I know that for many that would have more of a Wheel of Fortune feel for them, but that's where we are at the moment. And then we have Strength and Fortitude, which came in the deck. So I've gone with, I went with the Strength, although I'm not particularly fond of this image in general. The wrestling, the mouth of the lion. But I don't know why, because it was hard, fortitude. I think it's probably just the word fortitude didn't mean a lot to me, whereas the word strength meant more to me than fortitude. But I like the image of fortitude. So I've kept with strength for the minute. We have the Hanged One. So that's just very standard. And then we got to the death images. We have multiple death images. I think this one actually was in the deck. I've kind of got myself a bit mixed up. There was a couple in the deck, and this one was the extra that came with the book. So this one's gone into my deck because I love it. It's got sunflowers in there, and I do like sunflowers. And the kind of, it feels more alive, more Rebirth alive than the rest of them do to me. So I've kept this one in my deck. But Rebirth, I know this one's a real popular card for many who have this deck. Lots of people like this one, but it looks painful. That's all I can say. It looks painful. It looks a bit horror film-esque with this image here. I mean, there's beauty in it, but not for me. And then we have like more of a standard kind of Marseille Gasman type death card. I'm sure there's other Marseille decks that I could have used to name that, but that's just one that I happen to know of, so I'm naming it. So it's that one, which I think came in this deck, to be honest. I just can't remember. And then we've got the Misery Collector. What a great name. But Death doesn't feel like the Misery Collector for me, so that's why this one's not in my deck. And this, by the way, was a really nice one to have arrive, to swap in. So we have Temperance. So I can have Temperance. Is that right? No, I've got something the wrong way around. Prudence. For 7. Oh, is there a Prudence for that? No, this is 12. Hanged One. Who have I missed? Have I missed out the Hanged One? No, the Hanged One. Oh, okay, so I could have had Prudence versus the Hanged One. Doesn't take much here, does it? 10, 11, 12, sorry. Temperance and Art. So I've gone with Temperance because I love the colours of this card versus this one. We have, so for the Devil, so I've gone with Temptation. I like this one. So this is one that I've picked. The kind of Baphomet. It's a bit more standard in its imaging. The Devil itself, this one is another one. It's very similar, but we have a more human face in this one, which I didn't pick. And then we have the Torment, which is another great card, but just didn't feel right for me at the moment in this deck, so I've left that one down. We have the Tower. And I have the Star. So we have 2 versions for the Star, isn't it? So I've gone with this gorgeous star. I love this purpley background that's on it. But this is one that I've picked. Or I could have had the Dream, which they're very close, to be honest. It was really hard to choose between these. I hope you can see everything despite the miserable day outside. So for the Moon, oh, Hubris, sorry. Hubris, I could have had Hubris for the Tower as well. So for the Moon, we have the Descent. I've seen many people pick this card. It is just gorgeous. I don't want to have a guess at who that's supposed to be. Is it meant to be Hecate? Really not sure on my mythological creatures off the top of my head. I mean, there's a snake there, so it's my first guess, but I could be completely wrong going into the descent. It would make sense, but it's probably somebody else. So I didn't choose that one. We have the labyrinth, which is a great word for the moon. I think this is a really good one, and I love the labyrinth there in front, which does actually look like Hecate's labyrinth, first off, looking at it that way around. But I don't know, again, if that's going to pick up. And I went with this one, very standard moon. I think it's beautiful. I just love the way that the moon glows out there, and you can see it shimmering off the dogs. So I, really like that one. We have the sun. So I've gone with this sun. Again, lovely bright card. We have poetry, which was one option. Nice card. But poetry, the word didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then this one came with the book as well. So I had an alternative, which is called Mirror. So I've not really quite worked up how that reflects the sun, although the word reflect is quite ironic there with it being a mirror. So yeah, I haven't put that one in yet. Then we have the judgment, or the last judgment. So I've gone with this judgment. I just like the colours, the picture. This one has some lovely bright colours in it as well, but the word last judgment didn't quite, not me. We have our the world card and the universe. So again, we have another gorgeous world card shooting out, I don't know, I suppose we call that life from her breasts. I don't know what else to say about that one. So that's one I took. And I also had the universe. So I was tempted. This one nearly went in. It's again another really nice card. It's just the artwork at this point. So the lady of the world made it over this one. And then there's extra cards which I have kept in. So I have this kind of yes card. I love the sunflowers on this one. We have this no card. And then we have you're asking the wrong question. I think that's fantastic. So I've put those into the deck. They are part of my majors. Right, looks like we go with cups next. This is going to be a ridiculously long video. Oh dear. So we have Ace of Cups. So this is my deck here. I have the Two of Cups. And then here's the three that I've gone with. Very traditional. Again, love the colouring, love the pictures, love the statue in the background. Or I could have had this one. So again, this is the expansion pack over here. This is the spare cards in my deck. Here we have the 4. Five. And 6. So there's a choice between the 6. So I've gone with this one, more traditional feel to me with the younger characters versus the 2 ladies. Felt right to me. 7. That's a nice dark moody 8. And then the 9. I chose not to put him in, and I chose to go with this one. He just looks like he's getting drunk. It's one too many. And with our 10s, so I've gone with this one. I just like the way he's kind of showing the world. Like, they seem really content. They're united. They're holding hands. I like that about this one. This one's great. You can see all the different kind of people in the card. But no, ignore me. That's Pentacles. Just because it's got 10 on it. So that one. Moving on. Princess of Cups versus Page of Cups. So you can have the princesses if you'd rather over pages. I've gone with the page on this one. I don't know that if I've stuck to that all the way through or not actually. The Knight of Cups. So 2 Knights of Cups. Hard choice to make with these two. I've gone with this one for a second, and I might well pop that one in at another point. Then we have the Queen of Cups. And we have the King of Cups. So next up is the Pentacle suit. So gorgeous ace card. Do I need to put the light on? Does that make any? Not really, no. I don't think so, does it? It just puts a glare on it, so it's going to make it harder for you to see. So here we go. So ace, 2, 4, and 5. So 2 5s to choose from. Gone with a more traditional looking one with the snowy scene over this one, but it's another great one to swap in. What do we have here? 6. So yeah, so we've got 2 for 6. This one just felt a bit righteous, arseholey, versus this one. Excuse my language, but that's just how it felt. So 7, 8, working very hard in the forge. 9, I think that's a lovely kind of 9. Just again, it's the gold popping out, enriching the card. 10, yeah, so this one, because it had a tree of life and all the family in there versus this one, so I went with the tree of life depiction. Back to Page and Princess, so you've got your choice there between the two. I like the sun behind his head, so. And then we have the Knights. I've chosen this one. Queen and King. So swords are up. Ace. Quite a nice bright 2. That's a great 3, isn't it? Very moody, murky, you know, the turmoil going on beneath with this kind of crashing waves. And then the 4s. Excuse me, sneeze. So very traditional, lovely colouring. Slightly less traditional, but he's sleeping, so you see that he's kind of been on the battlefield. He's a little bit worse for wear, and he's gathering his strength. So I like this one. This one always feels a bit like Snow White's coffin scene, you know. 5, so we've got a choice for 5. Hard decision to make. I could have chucked that one in for something different, but actually I went with this one because we know, you know, it's a very familiar scene. I think there's a famous story behind this card as well, which I once knew. I've since learned so much nonsense that I can't remember any of it. So there is a lesson to learn about trying to learn too much, I think. 6. Here's our 7. I've gone with the fox and left out the traditional depiction of somebody looking like they're stealing something, which everyone seems to go with. So I've gone with the fox. So I like the fox because I know everyone just associates foxes with being sly, but they're also prepared. They're preparing. And there's other, you know, really good words to use for the 7. Here we have the 8. So not a lot to say about that one. You can see the kind of problematic, like I like it all coming off the head there, the stress with this 9, those kind of nightmare-y feelings. And I haven't really looked too much into this, but you've got that kind of cosmic shadow coming off the head. So that could be somebody taking away the unnecessary thoughts and feelings. There's our 10, so the body's covered with a white sheet. I'm assuming this means that, you know, this isn't just an ending, this is dead. Like, subject matter is closed. This isn't coming back. And then we have our page and princess. And I've just realised there's a bunch of... Oh well. Knights. So you can see my decks are all completely not in the right order. There's our Knights. That's a brilliant one. Love this one, but I've gone with this one for a second. Queen and King. I'm going to put you on hold 1 second. Okay, so just, I knew there was another 3. So that's the 2 3s. I thought you might like to see them together. So this is the one that I've picked, and this was the other one that was in the deck. And with that, the sunshine's coming in the window. Okay, so we're on to the wands. Get them in the right order. So we have, let's take that one off. So we have choice of 2. Again, I've gone with a more common depiction. This is a really nice one. 3. We have the 4s. Either one would be beautiful choice to make. So this is mine. 5s. I didn't like this one. This one looks more like a battlefield, so I decided no, I've gone with this one. Kind of, it just feels more like challenging each other, learning, teaching than the other one did. So 6. This one for me. The 7s. No, 7, 8. I just much prefer this one. It's something about the eye in the cloud versus this one. This one reminds me of a story from, can't remember the name of the deck, but there's a story in it, which is 10 of Wands, I think, with ears growing out of the tree. Here we have our 9s. Don't quite understand what's going on in this one yet, so I've gone with this one. 10. And then we've got Page of Wands. 2 different types of Pages of Wands. And then there's a Princess of Wands. So you've got 3 to pick from for the wands. These are mine. The Knights. Again, swap and change those in now as I choose. So I've got this one for the minute. I have a Queen. And my King. And I think these are the extra suit. Yeah. So for those who aren't aware, there's an extra suit that comes in this deck as well. And this is the vessels as opposed to cups. And this is like the spiritual essence of the deck, or self, or, you know, however you want to call it. So we'll go through these quickly. I haven't used these, so these are in the back of my deck, not ready to use yet. There are 2, 3, 4. There's 2 to choose for the 5. This one looks a bit gruesome and bloody. I'm not sure what he's done to somebody, but she's beheaded them. So also is he. So they've both got the head in the hands. I don't know which one's the lesser of the 2. I'm not actually sure what's going on in this suit. As I say, I've not worked with it. Here we have 6. Somebody's being eaten, I hope, or warmed. I'm not sure. 7. 8. 3-headed griffin type thing. We've got a 3-headed sort of dragon thing. So 9, so we've got a choice of 2. So this is the one that I've put in. There's our 10. And then you do get a princess for this suit as well. So in keeping with everything else. So I've gone with a page. And then we have the knight of this suit, the queen, and the king. Right. For those of you who like a choice in your 2 of Cups, this is the choice that we have here as well. Those were the cards I forgot because they were out of order when I was flipping through. So this is the one that I've chosen. I like the equal balance of the masculine and feminine, but you can then choose between kind of 2 masculine looking energies and 2 feminine looking energies, depending on how you like your 2 of Cups to feel for you. So that's those. Okay, here's the book. It is huge. I mean huge. It is beautifully produced. Look at the images. Aren't they gorgeous? Absolutely worth it. It's not a cheap book, okay? This is not a cheap book. But if you want to know a bit more about your artwork and stuff, yeah, this is up there with Patrick Valence's Deviant Moon companion book for me. This is top. So it's absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful production, beautifully put together. I mean, I don't have another word for it. I perhaps need to look up this word in a different language so I can use it. But this image, you can see why I went with it for my death card in the deck in the end. It's just gorgeous. I love the fact that we've got the masks. There's like gold. We've got crowns. We've got swords in the ground. We've got these lovely kind of sunflowers coming out. There he is. There is a bird hiding up there, I think. In the original one that I picked, which didn't have the extras of the gold and the sunflowers and swords and things, had a little raven sat down here. So that was the other one that I had in my deck. But this one just, I don't know, it seemed even more beautiful. So for the contents, it's really well laid out. So you have your foreword, which is actually from Benabel Wen, and then you got your preface and then your major arcana. So you've got tells you what's where, and it goes through in order. So you've got the Fool. So we saw we had 2 Fools, and then we have the Chaos card. So you can go and read about those, and it does that for each one. So if you've got more than one card, I think you might get 2 of Cups. So 2 of Cups is 201 to 205. If I remember when we're up there, we'll have a look. Then we've got some, what's this saying, miscellaneous spreads, an epilogue, bibliography, and image credits, and an index. So at page 500, so there you go. So it's over a 500-page book. So I don't think you can possibly not have heard of Benabel Wen. We all know that she's a big hitter in the world of tarot. She's very well recognised and trusted. So she has given a very nice, I'm not going to read it all, but let's just, we'll do the first paragraph, shall we? Terra Volatile is the tarot deck I wish I had the talent to create. Anna and Diego are artists and occultists extraordinaire. I am enamoured with their art, their craftsmanship, and everything their creativity produces. They inspire me. I am so profoundly inspired by how much they have achieved, their perseverance, the obstacles they've overcome to give us this masterpiece, and their prodigious talent. Okay, keep going. Among the varying genres of tarots, I describe Terra Volatile as an esoteric deck. It is a deck for the magus, integrating alchemy, astrology, and philosophical hermetism. The illustrations are reminiscent of 16th century woodcut prints, blending medieval mysticism, Renaissance iconography, and just a trace of modern speculative art. Now, Benabel Wen is exceptionally good with her English language and her wording, so there are plenty of descriptive sentences in here, I am sure. But I'm not going to read more of that. We'll go to the preface because you want to see the pictures, right? That reminds me of that image, Manhunter. Actually, Chris from Elemental Cartomancy was talking about that film yesterday. Yeah, it reminds me of Manhunter. So here we have the Fool. We have the element of air. The planet is Uranus. Meaning and interpretation, the Fool. Previous page. Oh, there we go. Red Dragon. Credo, quia, absurdium. 2020. The dragon symbolises an epiphanic moment of self-discovery after a demanding inner confrontation. And there's the appearance. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. Revelations 12.3 KJV. No idea what that means. You can tell I'm not a big Bible reader. I had enough of that in school. The Fool usually assumes number 0, simply unnumbered. It means it can be placed anywhere within the major arcana itself, reflecting the unlimited potential of the card. The forest and the rocks around him symbolize the new adventures of the Fool's journey already started. Another important element is the white flag. It does not mean he is surrendering or giving up. On the contrary, it represents the white canvas that he will paint. Such is also visible in the colours palette hanging at the waist. Has he got a colours palette hanging at his waist? I guess that's this. Meaning he finds endless unknown possibilities of self-expression. The way the white flag can also be represented as new beginnings, innocence and inexperience. Oh, let's read about that skull. Over his head, a royal skull is floating. It faces the opposite direction of the Fool, which marks a clear divergence between the skull and the Fool. Perhaps the Fool does not realise its presence, or it simply does not bother him. He does not fear nor understand death, but whichever it might be, this highlights how free, inexperienced, and naive he is. Okay. So it's not just a cool addition, it has a good meaning. So what we've got here, so we've got upright meaning, reversed meaning. We've got some more gorgeous artwork here. And then we have the female Fool. Okay, so it's going to tell us about the symbolism in this card. We have the Chaos card. Before the seas and this terrestrial sphere and the sky's high canopy that covers all, one was the face of nature, a rude and undigested mass, a lifeless lump, unfashioned and unframed, of jarring seeds and justly chaos, named. ... So it tells us about our Chaos card. Well, that's a really nice image as well. Chaos, symbolic chrysopia. Left. This one. Chaos. The Grand Elixir Tarot, Credo, quia, absurdium. Okay, so they've got another tarot deck. Didn't know that. I'll be honest. Magician. So it's, you can see, okay, so it's going through beautiful bits of artwork. Living with the alchemist is a supposed 8th planet, passive and silent. It could represent Mercury, which embodies the feminine side of the alchemist. This may be seen in the yin, dark energy that balances the yang elements of the masculine character. So this is from Alejandro Jodorowsky's surrealist cult film, The Holy Mountain. So I know lots of people recognise this. I'm not even sure if I've seen that film, to be honest. So intuition. Empress. So yeah, just amazing stuff in here, you know. So it's a coffee table book, right? So you can just pick this up and read one a day if you want to. So you've got justice cards, the hermits. Are they all in there? Yeah. Let's just have a little look. Justice and both. Sun's coming in now. 1 second. This is what I love about living in the country at this time of year. The sun's now low, so it's coming in windows. It doesn't only come in. Soul searching. Did I have 3 hermits or 1, 2, 3? So they're all in here. Misery collector. So we got the rebirth, death, prudence. So let's just see what death. Rebirth. This one. So the new death card's not in here. Or dream. And a star. Hubris. And the tower. They're both in here. Oh, she's a bit grim, doesn't she? Torment. Temptation. So that's the one that I chose. Versus, is he in here? The Devil. Yeah. Who is she? Who is she? Oh, Inanna. I ought to have known that really, shouldn't I? So, Ishtar, daughter of Sin. Determined to go. The daughter of Sin was determined to go. There's a dark house dwelling. So it tells you a bit there about the mythos here. Descent of Ishtar into the underworld. Narrative translated by Stephanie Daly from 1989. Babylonians, Assyrians for the fall. Iconographic and symbolic study. Check Nameless Mother at quia. So I think they've got a lot of online stuff that you can access. We have the Sun. Our poetry cards, so tell us about the elements of the card for poetry. And the Mirror. So yeah, this one's curious. Like that's a curious, like I can see the Sun here, but I don't quite, this doesn't make sense to me for the Sun. So for the male seeker, the refusal of his anima might develop feelings of insecurity and truth, twisting tendencies that are allied to complex and destructive mind games. By denying his anima, the seeker intensely aims to affirm his masculinity, putting on his macho persona and conducting a promiscuous, toxic masculinity. Again, doesn't resonate with me for the Sun. Here's our judgments, our world cards. And then this is where I wanted to get to, see what them. Yeah, okay. So we have Major Arcana chart here. So we've got alternative cards. So it gives us the list of the cards, a list of the alternative cards that we have, and then upright meaning. We have the reverse meaning. We have the element, the planet, and the zodiac sign. So that's a nice. That's for the majors, so there must be one for the minors. That's a nice quick reference guide here. And we have the cups with the keywords, element, social life, relationship, emotional side. So information, and then we're into the cups. So keywords chart. That's our king for the cups. So we have the same thing for the cups. Then into the coins, earth, financial gains, health, wealth. There's the coins keywords chart there. I'm so sorry about that, Sunshine. Let me just put it on hold again. Okay, I think the Sun's just telling me basically to hurry it up. Wands, swords. So front page for the swords, air, attitudes, minds and thoughts. Then we have our keywords for the chart. We are into our wands. I know the sun's just going to get me before I even get there. There's our keyword chart there. Vessels. Okay, so vessels. This is the ether, quintessence. The keywords are awareness, transformation, and rebirth for this suit. So it's going to be interesting getting to know this suit, I think. The structure of the suit. So it tells us about the structure, the courts and the great work, the inner journey. So this is all set up a bit different for the vessels, and then tells us about them there. So 9. King. Do we have keywords for this one? Don't know, we do. So we've got keywords for the vessels as well at the back. And let's just have a quick peek. Ace, major intuition, enlightenment. Reversed, discouragement, unclear path, lack of perseverance, element, ether. So the whole element is ether until we get to the court cards where they are then associated with ether and an element. Let's see what 5 is. 5 is separation, changing your patterns, rediscovery, or reorganized, restructured ego on the right side, on the right path. So in the miscellaneous section, it tells us about, well, we've got our yes and our no cards. Beautiful imagery. Got a little bit of information here with our yes, no, and I love this one. You are asking the wrong answer. What a great card to stick in a deck. That's the one you want to come out every time you're asked, is he thinking about me? And then we have a spread, some reading examples. The Odyssey. 9-card spread. The Call of Adventure is a situation. The Garden. The Room of Mirrors. Into the Woods. Supernatural Aid. Nostalgia. Road. The Broken Ladder and the Harvest. Tria Prima. Magnus Opus. So we've got some great looking spreads in here to play with. Horseshoe. Another great image. I don't think you're going to get bored looking through this book. We've got the epilogue. There's our bibliographies. Loads in there, look. Mythology, folklore and religion. This tarot. Or tarot, I'm guessing. Plenty on the mythology. Look. Alchemy, mysticism and occultism. Signs and symbols in the deck. Art and literature. The webgraphy. And then image credits as well in here. And we have the index if you want to find your way around the deck in a different manner. Okay, I'm sorry about the sun coming in and ruining that partway through, but I don't know, for those of you who are interested in this, if that was useful to you, I do recommend the deck. It's gorgeous. But as you can see, it's not one I've delved into much. I don't know a lot about what's going on in here, so that is just simply a look at the images, the ones that I've picked. And this one is in my one day. I will know an awful lot more about it in a deep dive, but it's going to be years before I can actually comment on this in a real kind of, here's what I think about the deck type thing. For now, the card stock is amazing. I love all the multi-layered cards that you get to put in and out of the deck, so you can change it up. Even if you get bored of it, you can change it again. So if you decide you want to have princesses over the pages, you have that option to do. And there's just some really genius elements to this. Comes in a gorgeous box, and the card stock's really nice. I can't really say any more than that, really. If you're tempted, go check it out. Treat yourself. Until the next one, take care. Bye-bye.